guys, what's up? And it's time for an unhaul. So it is now the new year, and I really looked at my shelves, looked at my whole room actually, and knew that I needed to do some cleaning. I needed to get things out. I want to utilize the library more. I already utilize it a lot, but I actually want to read the books that I get from the library, which doesn't happen too often. And so I took the books off my shelf that I either read and don't remember much about and not going to read again. Took books off my shelf that I've lost interest in, and I'm never going to read, or if I'm going to read them, I'll either read them on audiobook or just get them from the library. I just need space on my shelf, not to add more books to, but just to feel better. I just needed things to be a little bit better. December was a hard month for me, and I was just ready to wash away all the sadness that 2020 brought me, December especially, and I just want things to be better. Like, I want things that I feel joy for. And a lot of these books, every time I looked at them, I just dreaded them because I was like, I'm never going to get to them. It's so annoying, but yeah. So let's get into this unhaul. First book I am unhauling is That's Not What Happened by Cody Keplinger. I read this in 2020 and I liked it. I really enjoyed it, but I'm never going to read it again. I'd rather someone else be able to read it. The next one is The Girl Before by Rena Olson. I DNF'd this book. I did not like this book at all. I was buddy reading it with one of my friends on Bookstagram, and they didn't like it either. The next one is The S Word by Chelsea Pitcher. I love this book and I have a connection to it, and I'm not sure why because I don't remember what happened in this book. So there's no reason for me to keep it. If I loved it whenever I was younger, I believe I read this my junior year, but if I read this whenever I was younger and loved it and it made an impact on me, I'd rather someone else who is struggling in high school to read this book and love it. Next book is Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. I'm so sorry. I really butchered that. Okay, so someone wrote in this, which drives me nuts. I literally cannot read books that are written in. I don't know what it is, but I can't. And also, I'm not a huge fan of this art style. I picked it up because it's really popular, but I'm just not a huge fan of this art style. So, it needs to go. I don't know what this is about. The next one is The Wild Things by Dave Eggers. This is like a continuation of Where the Wild Things Are, and I'm not a huge fan of Where the Wild Things Are. I read it. I know I read it as a child, I just didn't remember it, and then I read it this year, and I just didn't like it. I thought it was boring, and I really bought this for this cover, and I don't need to be buying things for covers. I'm also getting rid of Tease by Amanda Maciel. This is also a book that I remember nothing about, but I remember loving it. I also think I read it, but in the same time frame, like my junior year. I have no clue what this is about. Oh wow, this is gorgeous. But I don't need it because I don't remember. I literally am keeping it because I have a fond, oh my god. I'm literally keeping it because I have a fond memory of it and remember really loving it, and that I needed it my junior year. But I don't need it anymore because I don't remember what happened and I'm not going to reread it. Next one is All the Rage by Courtney Summers. I read Sadie and really loved it. But I always gravitate towards this and then I never end up reading it. And if I'm going to read it, I'll just get it from the library. The next book I'm going to get rid of is Paper Towns by John Green. I'm never going to reread this. This is one of my favorite old John Green books. Turtles All the Way Down is my favorite of all time, and I'd rather just keep that one. This one I loved, also part of my teenage years, and I'm 22 now. Like, the books I read whenever I was younger don't need to stick around if I'm never going to reread them. Next one is Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. This is a book I've tried to read like 6,000 times, and I've just given up because every time I read it, I'm just like, I don't know. I just really don't have any interest in it anymore. It's been on my shelf for so long. People tell me that I'm gonna cry. Like, I don't know. I just don't have interest in it anymore. The next book I'm unhauling is The Magic Misfits by Neil Patrick Harris. This is something I bought because I think I had to reach a minimum amount, and I love Neil Patrick Harris, but I hate middle grade. So I tried reading this. I also tried listening to this on audiobook. I also did not like it. So I don't know. I only read like half of it, so I DNF'd it. Middle grade's not for me. I just gotta let it go. I'm also getting rid of Shanghai Girls by Lisa C. This is a book that I'm not really sure what it's about, but listen, that's not for me. I just don't think I will end up liking this. My sister gave it to me because she was getting rid of it, and it sounded interesting, but these are just not the type of books that I read. I don't know how to describe it. I think this is more like a family situation, and I don't like family books. I hate family books. Next one is a book that has been on my TBR for way too long. I don't have any interest in it anymore. It's a book that, I don't know. I don't know. Hate List by Jennifer Brown. This is just a book that's been sitting on my shelf. I read so many books about high schools, and I just don't think this one will do me any good. I love contemporary, but this one is not for me. Next one I'm getting rid of is The Wednesday Letters by Jason F. Wright. This is a book that I read a long time ago. And I remember really loving it, but I also don't remember what happened. I keep getting this book and what is it? I keep getting this book and How It Ends mixed up because I think they're pretty similar. I don't know. I just want other people to read it. I really enjoyed it, but I just don't remember what happened in it. Next one I'm getting rid of is Tigers in Red Weather by Liza Klausman. I attempted to read this book, and it just got so slow. I really love the writing style, but it's just too slow for my liking. The next one is The Many Lives of John Stone by Linda Buckley Archer. I've had this on my shelf for so long. It does have mixed media in it, which I do like, but I just don't think I'm going to get to it. I don't actually know what this is about. The next one might be a little surprising considering I rated it 5 stars this year, but I'm just not going to end up rereading it. It's taking up space on my shelf, and it doesn't bring me happiness, even though I rated it 5 stars. And it is The Grace Year by Kim Liggett. I'm just never going to reread it. I loved it, but I don't know. It's not a book that I see myself carrying with me as I move on with my life, so there's no reason for me to keep it now. Also, another book that might be surprising is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Rainbow Rowell, as an author, kind of an iffy human being. But this book really was one of my favorites when I was younger. And like a lot of these books, I read them when I was younger, and I've just kept them over the years, and they mean so much to me, but it doesn't mean that I have to keep them physically now that I'm out of my teenage years, almost done with college. Like, there's just no reason for me to keep them, and it's not like I'll forget about them. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. This one's also a really gorgeous copy. I did get the collector's edition, so it's really gorgeous. So I hope someone finds this copy and is very happy. Next book I'm getting rid of is Life in the Sloth Lane. I read this year. My mom got it for me randomly at like Kohl's or something, and I'm just not going to reread it. It doesn't really fit on my shelves correctly. So, I did enjoy it. It's just quotes and then facts about the sloth. I don't know. Next one I'm getting rid of is a book that I unhauled and then rehauled because I took it out of my unhaul pile because I wasn't too sure. But I realized that if I'm going to read this book, I'm going to listen to it on audiobook. And it is Joe Biden's Promise Me Dad. I'm really interested in this book because I really don't know the whole story. I just know that his family was in a car accident and he lost his wife and one or two of his children in that. So I'm just interested. I just really want to know what happened. So I'm going to listen to it on audiobook. The next one I'm getting rid of is an extra copy. I don't understand how I got this. I don't remember getting this copy. It's the ugly version of an Agatha Christie books. And it is Murder of Roger Ackroyd. And this, I hate these covers. I have this one, Mysterious Affairs at Styles. This is, no. This cover is terrible. So I have a different version. The next book I'm getting rid of is The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate. I thought this was cute. I just don't need it on my shelves. Again, not a huge fan of middle grade. I did enjoy this one though. But yeah, I'll probably end up reading The One and Only Bob, but I'm not going to buy it. So the next 4 books that I'm getting rid of is the final series that I have on my shelves. I hate series. I'm not a huge fan of series. I really just love to read one book and be one and done. That's pretty much it. Okay, actually, this is the final series that I haven't finished that's on my shelves, because I do have The Murder Complex, which I love, and then I also obviously have Divergent. That is never getting off my shelf because I reread it this year and really enjoyed it. But the books that are going off my shelf are the Unwind series by Neil Shusterman. No. Okay, so basically, when I was a freshman in high school, which was like 8 years ago now, I read Unwind and Unholy for my AP class. Really enjoyed them. I still have not gotten to Unsold and Undivided, but to read these, I have to reread these. And am I willing to reread 2 books that I'm not even sure I'm going to like now, even though I really like them, my freshman year, to get 2 books that I may not even like? So, no, we're not doing that. So basically, these are all going. I've been staring at them on my shelf for the past couple months, being like, I'm never going to read them. You need to get rid of them. So, here they go. Next book I'm getting rid of is The Museum of Extraordinary Things by Alice Hoffman. This was on my December TBR, and I remember dreading it. So, basically, I didn't even end up reading this book, but I'm not going to read it because this is not my type of book, and I don't understand why it's still on my shelf. I really think it's because it's a pretty cover. The next book is another second copy that I have of an Agatha Christie book, and it is Murder on the Orient Express. I ended up buying this version after I read Murder on the Orient Express last year, and I'm not sure why. I know it's a really cool cover, but I don't need 2 of the same book, and the other book that I have matches some of my other Agatha Christie books. So there's no point in me keeping this. It's a really cool copy, but I don't need 2 of one book. The next book I'm getting rid of is pretty obvious. I really hated this book, and it is Next by Michael Crichton. I am not upset that I read it, but I'm also not happy that I read it. It's very misogynistic, very racist. Oh no. I do not recommend this book. Stick to Jurassic Park. I probably won't end up reading. I do have one other book by Michael Crichton that I'm fairly interested in that I've kept. So after that, I probably won't read any more of his stuff if I don't like that one. But yeah, I did not like this book whatsoever. I did like the marketing idea of it all, and I ended up giving it 3 stars for that reason, because I like the business behind it. But that's it. That's it. The next book I'm getting rid of is Margaret Atwood's The Testament. I attempted to read The Handmaid's Tale, ended up DNFing it. And so there's no reason for me to keep the second one because I didn't finish the first one. My sister told me what happened in The Handmaid's Tale, and I'm so glad I didn't finish it because that is not my type of book. It's a lot of stream of consciousness, and that's no thank you. Talking about The Handmaid's Tale, I'm getting rid of The Handmaid's Tale. I have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. I read this a while ago. I don't even know when I read it, to be honest. I prefer the movie, though. Now we're on to the final 3 books. I am getting rid of All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I'm just not... Basically what happened is I read The Book Thief and really thought I was into historical fiction. And I was for a time, but it's been years since I read The Book Thief, and my historical fiction phase has gone away, and I just really am not into reading huge books. The final ones I'm getting rid of is a duology, and it is Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer's Between the Lines and Off the Page. I read Between the Lines when I was in high school again, and I really enjoyed it, but I've never gotten to Off the Page, and I don't think I am going to get to it, just because I would have to reread Between the Lines, and I really don't want to do that. So those are all the books that I decided to unhaul. My shelves are very bare now, which I'm really happy about. The only books that I'll be purchasing are books that I'm really excited about. In the last half of 2020, I really honed in on what I really wanted to read, and I bought those books. There was no point in me continuing to buy books that were hyped or whatever. I need to be really excited about them if I'm going to buy them. Otherwise, I'm just going to get them from the library. I can use Libby or pick them up curbside at my library. So there's just no point in me hoarding books. The only books that I will be buying are the books that I'm excited about, and obviously Agatha Christie books, because I am trying to collect her whole collection of books. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you are doing some New Year cleaning of your house, and I will see you in the next video.